Rin Tin Tin, because I'm twice as nice, and welcome to the Republic of Hip Hop. This is the Drop Hip Hop Uncensored, where I bring you all the stars and rising stars of the hip hop game in Southern Africa. Today I have with me dancer, choreographer, presenter, actor, MC, quite a mouthful, rapper, songwriter, Shelton Forbez.
What's poppin'? How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Thank you so much for having me.
I love that you are so efficient.
Oh.
You're a timekeeper. Listen, like I love that about you.
I think, as I told you off air, for me, it's that's what I owe my longevity to. Is that if there's one thing people can say about Shelton is that I work really hard and I'm professional. We don't have to talk about the talent or that's just
your professional.
Yeah, that's just the extra. I'm joking, but yeah, I really think it's good to be professional. So yeah.
Now you're not that new, because you're a very familiar face. You've been on very big platforms. You've been on TV.
Yes.
But before we get into that, I want to know, why did you choose the arts? Why not accounting or corporate?
I was actually gonna go into sports. I was really pretty good rugby player and a cricket player, but then I broke my wrist. But while I broke my wrist, I was also dancing, and then that was my right arm, which is like my strong arm, and then I had to teach my left arm how to dance. And when I saw that, when the cars came over, I was like, amazing dancer. So I was like, you know what, let's leave sports alone. I want to do the dancing thing. And then dancing led to all the other stuff. So I was definitely going to do sports, definitely. But yeah, I think it happened for a reason. Even though I hate the
it led you to your calling.
Yeah, like when it's cold like this thing gets hurt. Like when I have to.
Even now.
Yeah, still now.
Oh.
It was really bad. Like it was like a really big guy fell on me. So like it was like if you watch rugby, I'm sure you watch rugby, like a really huge oak, and I was like,
But you're also big.
No, I was skinny in school, yo. Yeah, this is like the evolved Super Saiyan
The glow
up, yeah. No. Back then I was like this skinny kid, really skinny legs, skinny arms. I was like a scrawny kid with braces, and I was playing rugby, and this guy fell on my arm, like his whole body was on my arm, and when I got up, it was like this.
Damn, that's a bit hectic. Speaking of dancing, right? Your first debut into the entertainment industry was on Tux's Munatita video. For you, would you say that just apart from your injury, was that when hip hop chose you, or the industry chose you?
Yes. I think before that, obviously, You Got Served was like, yo, this is cool.
Yeah, everybody wanted to be on You Got Served.
I mean? So that for me was like really cool, but like I think physically being in like the hip hop space, imagine I was going to the 60s, chilling with like Muraf at WHP at like the age of 15. You know what I mean?
That was so cool.
Yeah, so now I'm like, and I'm getting off stage dancing, people are enjoying what we're doing, and I'm with Tux. Like Tux was at this time in his prime, so it's like just the energy around everything. I loved it, you know what I mean? And imagine like Muraf and like, actually, my African itself is so important for hip hop.
They still even
so I was in that space, and I was like, yo, this is really dope. So that's when I fell in love with like South African hip hop, and then just being on these videos, being around all those people, being in the game like every single weekend. I go to school during the week, and then on the weekend I'm with Dukes on stage, and I'd see the game, and that's when I fell in love with it. And when the girls are screaming, I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
And then you get paid at the end of all of that. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
That's like the icing on the cake thing.
Yeah.
So I want to know, you are literally multi-talented.
Thank you, yeah.
And what I want to know is that how do you transition from the dancing to the music to the acting to the presenting without even losing yourself? Because I feel like oftentimes when creators do too many things at the same time, they overwork themselves, or like they get so consumed by their achievement or by their career that they kind of lose themselves. So how do you do that without losing yourself?
I think I have to owe that to the dancing community. Shout out to all the dancers that our dancers know for a fact like where we come from. Like I used to walk from I grew up right down the road, Orange Grove. I used to walk from Orange Grove to Shelton for castings, for like rehearsals. Yeah, like when I was choreographing for Cypher, when he was still doing music, I was walking from Norwood to Rosebank every night to go rehearse. So for me, like it's all about the hard work, and fortunately enough, I've been able to kind of, when I do dancing, I just focus on dancing. It's never like overlapped each other. The only time my career really overlapped was as soon as I got presenting, all of a sudden acting came all of a sudden music stuff. Well, music didn't come out to pursue music. But the music took off. Like the first song, Butterfly, took off. So I was like, oh damn, shucks,
this is actually working.
Then X Global called me for Baddie, and then Baddie took off even further. I was like, okay, this is cool. So Scoop even came to me like after one show, and I'm like doing my episode on VNT, and then Scoop comes to me after. He's like, yo, dude, I think you should leave the presenting thing. This music thing might just work out for you. And I was like, oh damn, okay, cool. And Scoopy has always been like someone I looked up to. We actually became super close over when I was working there. And so I took it seriously. I was like, yo, I think this music thing is actually for me. And then I started taking it really seriously. But like, fortunately, back to your question, I owe it to like the fact that, first of all, I come from a dance community where we work really hard.
Also, you guys, dancers have a lot of discipline.
Exactly.
I love that the discipline is the foundation of a dancer's career. Now, speaking of your music and pursuing your music, right now, what inspires your music? Because now, before I even get into your dope songs and getting 3K, streams in a day, before we get there, what inspires your music?
I think it used to be the partying and all of that, and then it was girls. And love and just like my encounters with females at parties, because my music was predominantly towards the female crowd. And I think when I left Vuzu, I went through like a very weird time where I just didn't want to be a part of the game no more for like a year, I think, because everything just changed, I guess.
What happened?
I don't know, man. I wasn't used to a mainstream. I've never had a mainstream like drop. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you like, because
you were
always just climbing. And then I think when I got to Vuzu, it was like a really big platform, and when it went quiet,
it's just like, where are they now?
No more. Yeah, you didn't get those tweets like that, or like those. You wouldn't trend. People wouldn't talk. People wouldn't answer my calls. So it was weird for me, man. And like I said, I'm not used to that. So before I got into the mainstream game, I thought it was, yo, we're all boys. We'll look out for each other.
And then you find out that it's not the same.
Exactly. So for me, I went through a weird space, and then I took a break, and I think I did a lot of introspection where I had to get to know who Shelton is again, had to go back to the kid that was hungry, the kid that would walk to auditions as opposed to act like a superstar. So all of that, if the TV definitely affected my ego, it made me arrogant, it made me work less and care more about how I look and who I'm friends with, and you know what I mean? So then my music started changing more about who I am right now and what space I'm in, how much I've grown, how I perceive how girls carry themselves, how I perceive how I see girls, how I perceive what type of girls I like now. Because back then I was just like, yo, if you're hot, if you fly, then I'm good, But now it's like I look at like the mind,
not just the surface.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So there's more to write about as opposed to just, oh, you're pretty. Now I can write about like deeper stuff, like how a girl responds, or how she carries herself, or how she responds to social media, how she carries herself on social
storytelling.
Exactly. So, but as a musician, I guess that also comes with growth, So for me now, I'm more into storytelling with my music as opposed to just getting a radio hit. You know what I mean? So yeah. I
love how you're being. I know it's uncensored. I love how you're being totally honest with your journey and you finding contention in music. So now what I want to know is that you've mentioned already it was tough.
Of course.
What has been personally your greatest lesson throughout your whole entire career as Shelton?
Always just stay true to yourself. Just always stay true to like what got you here. I used to give people the speeches all the time. I used to go as soon as I got Vuzu, I thought I was a motivational speaker, because schools will be like, come and talk to us, please. Tell them.
Because you're on TV now. Now you're
now motivating people, dude. And then I would literally go to schools and be like, yeah, just when you start this thing, make sure that you start it for the right reason.
Yeah. You were losing yourself.
After that, I'm gonna go pop bottles, So I think that had to knock me, and also I guess humility. It knocked me so much, and I realized when I started focusing on myself and started focusing on what I really like, what I'm really good at, what I was gifted as, I realized that I'm going to be here for a long time if I focus on that. If I focus on how many followers or how many likes or how many friends I make in the club or how many people I try to click up with, that's how long they choose to love you will never be your decision. Drake
It's
said it
theirs.
the best. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't choose how many. So you just gotta focus on what you gotta do and stick to like what you're really good at and what you love. And everything's gonna work out. Like for me, I'm in a good space. I'm in an amazing space. I'm happy. Things are going so well because I went back to the drawing board and plan A, which is my craft.
When are you writing a book? Because I feel like now you need to be book writer, author. Because you're dropping pearls of wisdom now.
I still had to drop my own TV show. I still had to.
Your own project. Yeah, you see, okay.
You know?
I want to get into your personal space.
Yes, man.
What's the one thing that you would love to do before you die? Just away from your career, away from your achievements. Just like Shelton next door.
I'd like to be a father to amazing kids.
What if your kids aren't amazing and they're like little rascals?
No, that's what I'm saying. I want amazing kids, yo. I don't want no little crazy things, man. No, I'm joking, but I definitely want to raise like beautiful kids and hopefully leave my legacy behind. And just I guess just be an example to like my kids one day. So I think for me that ultimately my family is like the most important thing to me. So if I can like change the cycle of, you know, like the normal stuff, like whether you come from like a single mother home or whether you come from I'm from like I'm colored and I come from like Easters in Pretoria, so like I come from the hood, you know.
You're from Easters?
Yeah, I'm from.
How are you?
So I've grown up with like a lot of different like dynamics to like in life, and for me, like if I can break those like cycles and like those
generational traumas and not give your kids the same thing
and just create an amazing life and leave them an amazing legacy for them to do that thing when I'm gone. I think that's one thing that's important.
That's very sweet. Very thoughtful. Back into your music. You recently dropped Langston.
Yeah.
Langston, right? How did that come about? Because I mean, you have worked with the likes of X, you know, and for you to be moving from that sound to the new one, because I was listening to it and I'm like, yo, this guy, like,
you for real listen to it. You for real listen to it. I just gotta see, because you know people are like, yeah, dog, you don't.
No, I really.
They never heard it.
I had to listen to it. So how did that come about?
Like I told you, I think it's just the evolution and it's just the growth. And so right now, for example, with the name, I said for like a good hour looking for.
I couldn't pronounce it.
So it comes from the Scottish saying "Old Langston," so it means the past year. So it's like that's how people wish you Happy New Year in Scottish. So for me, I cut the old out because I was like, Langston sounds cool, and it just means past time. So I was just talking about a past love and just stuff I've been through.
And you're very vulnerable.
Just giving a farewell, but not like knocking the girl all the way, but just saying how I feel and how I feel, how she should not like make it all about herself in a good and a bad way. Don't take the responsibility for all of this. You know what I mean? So yeah, then when I looked at even if you can see the artwork, a lot of thought went through it. Like I was thinking, like, how am I gonna make people feel something looking at my image?
I love that it's your face and you're just like.
Right, my boy yesterday was like. My boy yesterday.
Oh, that's what I'm like. Hey, you like yourself too much, Shelton, eh?
My boy yesterday was like, show Malcolm X. I'm like, yeah, we're not.
Because when I saw it, I'm thinking, okay, I'm listening to the song. Then you're like, you love yourself.
I just wanted people to like feel something looking at the cover. So Langston came about like that, and I want to be more creative and more thought provoking with everything I do now. So when you listen to the song, you're like, oh damn.
That's
what is it? You know what I mean? And then when you see the title, you also have to be like, yo, what does it mean? Like, what is it? You'll Google, you'll research, and then when you look at the album cover, you can see we didn't just say photo shoot, backdrop. You know, it was a thought and everything. So as you also saw when I built up the song, if you go on my Instagram, I dropped a picture every single day since last Monday just to build up. So and it's all from the same photo shoot, so it's all conceptualized. Same thing with the video. It's also gonna be conceptual. So that's how Langston came about. And yeah.
I speaking even of the video, now you're taking me to. I wanted to talk about it later.
Sorry, no, we can talk about the video later.
No, but even with the video, because in my mind, when I was hearing the song, I was seeing this like black and white, you with your haircut, you know, the girls there, you are there. What can we expect with the visuals of Langston?
I'm in a very, very new like music space. Like I've recently discovered Givian. Recently discovered Daniel Caesar.
Ooh,
Don't judge me, guys.
I'm
like,
judging you.
Like
No, but at least you found the light, you know?
Exactly.
Like, later is better than never.
I found the
better
light.
late than never.
I was like, oh damn, she's actually knocking me. Exactly. Yeah, so I discovered those artists and I realized something about them. It's like, it's so, their art, the way they bring their art across and how they communicate their music through picture, through visuals, through the music, through the sound sonically. That for me was like, it made me feel stuff. So with the video, I can't give away too much, but I think that's more so the feel. If you listen to the song, it also is like that vibe, like very like, sorry guys, I don't know what's happening. It's like early, I haven't drank anything, I don't know what's going on.
It's not a hangover.
I don't drink. I even gymmed this morning. I was like, I want to be fresh.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't drink no more. Since it's because of Ramaphosa, you know.
Okay.
Since lockdown, boom. I haven't touched anything. So
I thought maybe you had secret supplies. Would you take it or leave it?
I'm good now. I'm getting ready for the stage. As soon as lockdown is done, you guys are gonna see me spin and dance and flip and sing.
I actually love, when I was looking at your bio, I saw how emotional you are when you're on stage. And it was just like, yo, this is a different side that I've never seen on TV. Yeah. And there you were like kneeling and just like also vulnerable. And I was like, how? You know? Which now I want to know, because you are in collaboration with the Joburg Theatre.
Yes.
What is New Melody?
New Melody is basically, so New Melody just means like new sound, new music, untapped talent. And I started it 2016 for the purpose of giving up-and-coming artists a platform or kind of a bridge for big artists, big record labels or radio DJs to come to the show and like check them out. So I've had Sebi there. Sebi actually interviewed one of the artists. He spoke about the show afterwards. I've had a guy, I know if you, Young Tyron.
Yeah, I know.
Young Tyron basically was at Joburg Theatre. He had like his first stage performance there.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And like, he took off from there, but it's like, I feel like once you come, there's a guy called Khale. She's like very close. He's very close friends with Lula Udiba. Yeah, if you look at her like Instagram, he's a kid that's also coming out. He dropped an amazing song called Mona Lisa. So there's a lot of kids that came from that platform that's doing really well now.
Rising up.
And when they came to the show, everyone was like rocking up there with a hubbly. People were like high. People were like half drunk. You know, some people would have like lean under the chair, yo.
But they appreciate it.
I'm like, what are you doing? You know, so I kind of had to screw their heads on right and like, yo, bro, like this is what you gotta do. Like put this much hour, this how much time it takes to really, because I know how it feels to like hustle. Like I've managed myself, like being my own manager for like 10 years now. So I know what it is to like sit in the room and also organize my own rehearsal, shoot my own music video, everything. So it takes so much work. So I had to kind of instill
drill it in them that you're a business now.
Yeah, so I didn't just want to like create this platform for me to perform and pursue my music career, but I also wanted to kind of leave like give a rope to the oaks that are still coming up and guys that are still trying to do their thing. So that's what New Melody is about. It's amazing. We're actually gonna, like I just told you off air, we're doing that with Joburg Theatre now. So we're gonna do New Melody sessions online, very similar to Strip Down, but I've turned it into a TV show. So
fancy.
But now we're gonna we still wanna do up and coming artists, but we're gonna have Fifi Cooper there, Ricky Tyler. I'm speaking to, as I told you off air, I'm speaking right now to Dogo Maglera.
You should speak to Sosi and Manibadu. They're outside.
Okay, cool. I'd love for them.
They're really dope.
And so it's like, what we're gonna do is it's very acoustic, lights, everything. So we're turning into like
production.
A nice, yeah, you know, and that's the nice thing with Joburg Theatre is like I've had a relationship with them since 2012. So they're very supportive, and we're gonna take it all the way with production, and I think just kind of compete with everybody.
I love how you like just kind of compete with everybody.
So yeah, that's so for me like theater and production and dancing. That's why I'm so passionate about my stuff. And yeah,
I love how you have your hands in so many different jars, because also it's not just about you but also about the culture itself. You're preserving the culture. Speaking of performances, what's your best performance to date? One.
Can I tell you about my worst one?
I want the. Okay, tell me about the worst one. I'll take that one.
The worst one, I was at UJ and I went on before Nasty. And 3,000 kids booed me off stage, yo. I swear, guys. And then they started singing Struggling Joints. Like, it was like this cultural mash thingy where they brought like Angola, Nigeria, and like all these different cultures together. It was like a cultural day.
And they bashed you.
I was being a superstar because I just came from the club and I went to go sleep for an hour. Then I remember I had the show. So they asked me, do you want to go on at 12 o'clock? This is midday when people have energy. I'm like, nah, I'll go on at 5 hours just before.
But 5, that's when nobody has classes.
That's what I'm saying. But people are also tired. They've been standing in the sun since like 10 in the morning.
So you thought people would be tired?
No, I thought they'd be excited to see me before Nasty. Hell no, they were dead. They were like, get off stage.
I feel like that wasn't your time.
They booed me, that was whack. And then the next day, same thing happened at the Sands. I was with I went right after Frank Casino and Patrick. So imagine that energy coming from whole thing. Then after that is Patrick Lee. Then I go on and like literally all these kids just left the club and I was like, yo, I swear, like there was no one left.
How is your confidence still intact?
No. I performed all 3 songs and I told my DJ, let's go home. We didn't even chill. We left the bottles. We just bounced.
But I love how you got there and you did what you had to do.
Yeah, I have to see it through because then they won. Then they beat me. So then after that, I had to go back to the drawing board and rehearse and practice. And I think my best performance to date was the final New Melody last year in November. Everybody came to it. It was sold out. People were standing. People couldn't even sit. It was actually my first ever sold out show. And shout out to Gigi and Fifi Cooper. They also performed there. They did a thing. There was so much media there. So many other like celebrity support was there. So it was really amazing for me. That was my favorite performance. That was last year November.
You know what I love?
The stage.
I love that your baby or like your show is where you shine the most.
Yeah.
I love that for you. I love it.
It's taught me so much because when I started I was like, guys, I want to have a full band and dancers and I want to sing and dance. Yo, the first 2 months I was dying on stage. I was like after the like 10 minutes, I was unfit. And then by the time I think September kicked, last year September, I did my birthday edition. And that was amazing because that's when I got into the zone, had my dances, the singing was perfect. Because I have my set, it starts hype and then it breaks down. Like I change my outfit, I play the music video on the screen and then I go back. Then when I come back, change outfit, we say full band, the lights change, smoke, we say acoustic. And then we finish off strong again. So the acoustic part was like, we handled. So I think that show has taught me to kind of like, because big artists do this. They first go up and coming, no band, and then they use band when they're big. So for me, I work backwards. Now I've learned how to work with the band. I've learned how to sing and dance. So that is like what I'm good at now. So it's easy for me to like just do it back.
You can do it in your sleep.
You know what I mean? So I think for me, I owe it to that show, especially because it gave me a hard time, but I think I had to keep myself accountable from Feb until November every month to get on stage and do my thing, and I definitely improved. So my favorite one was definitely last year November.
That's pretty dope. Before we normally play a game before we end up the interview.
Yeah.
But before we get into the game, we're living in very tough times right now, and as a creative, how are you affected by the COVID-19 pandemic? Are you getting any income? Because the creative arts isn't getting any financial assistance like at this moment in time.
Fortunately, I've been able to do a few shows. I've done the Jukes one.
The live ones. Those are dope.
Those are really dope. So I've done those ones. I've done some obviously like not influencer work, but like just when brands are like, yo, let's jump on your you know what I mean? Let's go. And then I run a presenting academy called Next Presenters. So that's kind of my business, and that's also where like one of my incomes come in. So that's been running for like a year, where I train and mentor people how to present and MC and just build their personalities.
You do so much.
Yeah, so that's like also what's helped me during lockdown.
And that's just like on the side. That's not even like
your No, that's definitely on the side. And so like I said, it's important to me to give back to the culture. But so that's where my income really comes from. But can I be honest with you? the biggest thing that's kept me together was the fact that I'm not drinking no more. I have nothing against drinking, everybody. A glass of Jameson lemonade ain't wrong. Gin and juice ain't bad. You know what I mean? Like, so I still love drinking, but I'm not drinking at the moment for the past 6 months now. I've been I've been gymming every single day. I've gotten back into meditating, and I sing and dance every single day. Well, I try dance as much because sometimes my body's sore from the gym. But I sing every single day.
That was a young flex, but okay. Alright.
But yeah, but I sing every single day. So I've just gotten back to like, because there was a moment where, and I think everyone felt it. There was a moment where everything went quiet, right? This COVID like knocked everybody in. Like everybody had a time to think and be like, what the hell am I doing with my life? I think that was like the first, second month in. And I could have gone one of two ways. I could have been like, you know what, screw this, I'll wait for this thing to blow over. Or let me use the time right now to go back to the drawing board. And so that's what I did. I had to go back to the drawing board, figure out if this was my last 6 months on earth, what would I want people to remember me as? And I was like, a musician and a dancer. And that's when I just went full force into music without thinking about anything else. So, yeah.
This has been a pleasure having you in the job, I must say.
Shout out to you.
Also, like, you talk more than the host. So,
guys. It's not a bad thing.
You talk more than the host.
I always feel bad when people say that. I'm like, shit, am I talking too much?
No. It's uncensored. It's all you. We're going to play a game, ne? You have to pick one or the other. Okay, cool. Within a second. Don't think about it, just answer.
Okay.
Gaia Code or Mushita Showcase?
Gaia Code.
Ooh. I hope that doesn't break your bank. MTV or BET?
MTV.
It's a goal right now. No, you think it's long.
Keep it on. Who are you riding for? No.
This was the hard one. Theatre or television?
Ooh.
2 seconds, Shelton.
Theatre.
Really?
Really? Yeah, that's what my heart lies, man. Dance. I just told you guys. Music and dance.
No, pretty face. Yeah, screens. Last one. Music or presenting?
Music.
Really?
1000%.
Thank you so much for pulling through.
Thank you for having me. This was amazing. I had so much fun. Sorry for talking a lot, guys.
No, don't apologize. I actually want you to come back when you drop your project.
I got it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little exclusive, right? For September, I'm dropping a nice EP with a short film, and it's basically gonna talk about like my life during Buzu, during my quiet time and where I'm at right now. So it's a 3-song EP, nice short film. I'm not gonna give too much detail. I think I kind of might have given it, but it's gonna be very, very nice sonically. The music is gonna be amazing, and we're trying to tell like a nice story, so there's gonna be some acting in there. Everything.
Ooh.
I'm an actor, don't forget that.
Ooh. You got it here first. How can people book you and follow you?
People can get me on social media at Shelton Forbes. You guys can book me. If you guys go to my Twitter, you guys will see the email address there, or you can just hit me at Shelton. That's ForbesMusic91@gmail.com. Sorry, I almost said at Shelton. Book me. But you can also DM me with the money game. It's fine. I got the bag in the DM too. It's all good.
Either way. As long as it's money.
It's COVID. Anyway, we take it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Thank you so much for putting through, and I'm so excited to see your performance in the booth.
Thank you so much.
My name is Renton Tim, because I'm twice as nice. Your Black Barbie has reported for duty, and now is my time to go on out of here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your people. Follow us on all social media platforms at The Drop, and sense it on Instagram and on Twitter, my darling. Until next time, bye.